Ireland's history is a rich and wonderful mixture of fact and fantasy. Tales are told of mythical monsters from far away, long ago. Men first set foot here some 10,000 years ago after the Ice Age. Who are the Irish? Even experts are uncertain.
In my youth, the Fir Bolg were described as the sack men, because the Irish word bolg in fact means a sack, and one wondered who were these guys who came along with sacks on their back. But in fact, it is extremely likely that this word bolg, B-O-L-G, comes from the tribe, the Belgae, who Caesar came across in his Gallic wars as living in the area that you would roughly call Belgium today. The last of these invaders were the Milesians, and these are people who are thought to be the ancestors of the modern Gaels of Ireland.
From wherever they came, these early Irish seem to have established a stable, civilized society ruled by Druids.
People came from all directions into this island, and we're a great mix and gathering. Mongrels, in other words, which are, of course, much healthier and tougher animals than thoroughbreds and aristocrats, and we're not as mad as aristocrats as we know from the British royal family.
The Druids ruled their kingdom soundly from palaces at the hill of Tara and the rock of Cashel. But Irish ways were to be replaced by foreign notions. Druids were ousted by immigrants from desert lands thousands of miles away. These itinerant refugees were known as Christians. When the Romans made Christianity their official state religion, it spread with their growing empire. Ireland was never militarily conquered by the Romans, who simply colonized the souls of the Irish people. Next, the Vikings navigated over seas and up rivers, trading, building, killing. The bold men of the north sailed up the Shannon. They penetrated Ireland's interior, destroying the abbeys and distinctive Irish lifestyle. Derrynaflan Abbey, once a beacon of light, now a pile of stones in the Tipperary bogland. Learned men were left destitute. The land of saints and scholars became a land of paupers. Druids, kings, nobles and peasants were made landless. Little evidence remains of Ireland's golden age. Norman raiders, descendants of the Vikings, invaded England in 1066. In 1169, 103 years later, they came for Ireland. For 800 years, Ireland was under foreign rule. The spirit of the Irish was never broken.
The Normans were authorised by the Pope to invade Ireland, and they had a Welshman named Geraldus Cambrensis to write a diary about it and to, like a war correspondent, and he produced plenty of evidence the Irish were savages, which justified their conquering them. It's the same way we do it. It was done in Iraq, weapons of mass, So when you want to conquer a place, you say they're all savages and they're eating each other, so they must be civilized.
Later, the English, at war with France, Italy and Spain, feared an attack through Ireland. England's enemies were Ireland's friends. Cromwell's answer was brutal. Many were slaughtered, more were made landless. The price of England's liberty was paid in Irish blood. While England prospered, many in Ireland were left destitute as Englishmen were given Irish land. They suffered more as famine swept away the weakest. Millions died. For some, emigration was an option. Many didn't have the price of a ticket. Left behind, starving, homeless, some begged, some stole to feed their families. Nobody wanted the landless poor. As Ireland advanced, they were lost in a time warp. Over centuries, the landless learned how to survive. They know the meaning of pain and persecution.
I know my parents didn't have very much, but somehow there was enough food on the table. But I imagined the children of the travelling community, the fireside, the fires and the tents, which seemed very inadequate in terms of harsh winter nights, and see them kind of in those conditions. Kind of, to me, it spoke of terrible poverty.
As we pick ourselves up after centuries of bruising, the future seems brighter. We can all learn lessons from our past. When we learn to embrace our brothers and sisters, Ireland may grow as a nation.